All right.
We're here at the Bushmanspad Estate, outside of Bonnievale between Ashton and Swellendam, and visiting Menno Schaafsma on his beautiful estate called Bushmanspad Estate.
Thank you very much.
So Menno, you've farmed this farm since
2000.
Since
exactly the month was September 2000.
September 2000.
Yes.
And you came to this area of the Boerland.
Yeah, after a long search for a perfect location. It took me from Stellenbosch to Paarl, to Wellington, through the Boerland, all the way to Robertson and Bonnievale.
Oh, right. And when you arrived in this area, did you look around and
I was taken around by one of the local estate agents, and apparently he saved the best for last. Because when I almost decided to go back to Cape Town, he said, listen, I know of a small farm high in the mountains that is not originally a wine farm, it's more a farm for the fruit industry. They produce rootstocks. I said, well, it's always worth to go and have a look, as we did.
Mm-hmm.
And when I got here, I was immediately impressed by the terroir, because it's 400 meters, 500 meters above sea level. And also the scenery is stunning.
Mm-hmm.
The Langeberg Mountain range is beautiful. It's unspoiled. There's a lot of wildlife. There's a lot of fynbos. And the farm, basically, as I could see in my first impression, looked extremely healthy with permanent running water over the farm. And all the other farms I had seen in all the other areas, they always had something that there was a reason to sell it. And I couldn't see that at this farm, apart from that the rootstock industry, or the fruit industry, was going extremely well.
Okay. And is there quite a bit of natural water on the farm from the mountains?
Even in the very dry years, the Langeberg mountain range is pretty high. It's a great catchment area. And those mountains, they hold a lot of water. The water we probably sometimes get has been in the mountain for a long time, because it siphons through very slowly. Okay.
And when you started to put your mind around what you want to do with the estate, where you want to position the wines, did you have the old world in mind? Originally coming,
well, my rootstocks are in the old world.
Being in the old world.
So I've been drinking mainly old world wines since probably, well, I still like them, but of course you drink more South African wine once you live in the country. You never can get away from the taste that you've grown up with, although it changes a little bit. But basically the old French Bordeaux blend has always been my favorite.
And that's the style that you like to drink and that you like to make here?
Exactly. Of course it's extremely difficult to copy a style from another country. And you must acknowledge and also treasure qualities that South African wines do have, and the grapes that are produced there. So it will always be a mix. And now if you take the best of both worlds, so the best of what you can get here, and the best of what you appreciate, how you've been grown up, that is what I try to realize.
So which varietals have you planted here on the farm?
Of course the main ones, the Cabernet Sauvignon, the Merlot, the Shiraz, the Cabernet Franc, but on the side we did the Malbec and the Mourvèdre.
Cabernet Sauvignon?
Cabernet Sauvignon. We have the Cabernet Sauvignon. That's what we started with, because that's basically my favorite variety. And we did also, because we have a very good slope, some Sauvignon Blanc. And further we stayed away from the white wines, because there are so many good white wines in South Africa already. And the wines I wanted to make was basically more on the red wine side.
Right. And from there the decision to go with red gold.
That is, once you get into a train ride like this, you buy a farm, you plant vines, there is no way that you can say, now I'm going to stop, because the plants need water and they grow. The moment you stop, you lose a considerable amount of money. So you have to carry on, and you have to think up front. One of those sleepless nights where to go was, when I went to school, I remember high school, one of my favorite shop trips was Geoffrey. South Africa in those days Roger Moore played 007 in a Bonnievale. He was drilling in a 2,000 meters somewhere under the ground in Johannesburg in a gold mine with a big drill machine in one of the movies, one of the 007 movies. I think it was Goldfinger, but I'm not 100% sure. And we knew and we learned at school that the biggest gold producer in those days was South Africa. So gold was simple. Now red wine can be also gold if you treasure it as gold and you make a wine that has the gold quality. So red gold was born in one of my sleepless nights.
Oh, right.
That's the story.
Okay. And currently you have how many hectares under vineyards?
52 hectares under vineyards.
Okay. And the ones that go under your own label is what? What varietals do you bottle under the Bushmanspad Estate?
We started off, and were rewarded big time. We started off with Cabernet Sauvignon, which won a Veritas Gold immediately after it was released, as a 1-year-old wine, not even 1 year old in the bottle. So that was extremely helpful and put us on the map immediately. We did the Shiraz also, single variety. We did a Merlot single variety. That was our first year, those 3 varieties. Then the year later we brought the Sauvignon Blanc. We brought the Cabernet Franc, and we brought a blend. And the blend consisted of Cabernet Sauvignon, Merlot, and a little bit of Shiraz and Cabernet Franc. Only a little bit of Shiraz, because Shiraz can be very dominant, but we just like that licorice touch that Shiraz can bring. And the blend is received quite well.
Right. Okay. So the style of your wines here on the farm is a combination then of your the old world style that you like, combined with kind of a new world influence?
Well, the new world is definitely the fruit. The fruit here is richer than as far as we can get in Europe. I've noticed doing tastings with wines in Europe, because in Europe they have reconsidered their position, because they noticed that they lost out to the new world wines. So the fruit in South Africa will always be a little bit more classy, to my opinion, than the fruit in Europe. It's because of the climate and the specific conditions. So I think South African wines, if they are produced well and more important, marketed well, are a winning team for the future.
Okay. And over the next 5 years or so, how do you see the future of Bushmanspad Estate panning out?
Allowing me to retire in a happy state of mind.
We'll drink to that.
Okay.